We had to take a break from our relentless sex having and talk about this major news that just came out. Activision Blizzard being acquired by Microsoft for a whooping 69 billion USD. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy thing to happen. It's the biggest gaming purchase of all time, and also Microsoft's biggest acquisition ever, which just says a lot. This is crazy. Microsoft has been on a buying spree lately, and this will mean that they will be able to compete with the other companies such as Tencent and Sony.
exactly. I mean, just looking at their portfolio at this point, obviously we had Bethesda.
Yeah, the
I think that
Bethesda
was
acquisition,
probably
I thought that was crazy that they
yeah,
acquired Bethesda. But now this, whew,
yeah. I mean, it's interesting because first of all, I think it's super cool that it's such a big number for gaming as a whole.
mm,
It's also, I mean, you have to applaud the fact that it is a very nice number that they put on the table. The nicest of all numbers, 69B. That has to be somewhat on purpose. But yeah, I mean, what do you think this means for you know Xbox game studios and
yeah.
Microsoft and gaming as a whole
Yeah,
moving forward?
so I read that it's not certain whether or not the next Call of Duty will be locked to the Xbox, since the PlayStation has a huge share of the is a huge share of the consumers of Call of
Yeah,
Duty. They would be losing a lot of money if they just only locked it to Xbox or Microsoft computers, or Windows computers, I mean. But yeah, but
yeah,
the thing we could that could happen is that they add the Call of Duty franchise to the Game Pass. Now that sounds really exciting to me because
yeah,
those games are overpriced as shit. Black Ops 2 still costs like 50 euros. Bringing it into the Game Pass, that's
yeah.
something else.
No, I agree, and I think the first like instinct that you or that I often get when I see these types of things, where it's like, oh, when they bought Bethesda, I'm an Xbox guy, so I was happy. I was thinking, they're just gonna release their shit on Xbox now and stuff. But now that they own it, there's also the business incentive behind it. So really exclusive, like exclusivity or whatever, uh, it's not like it won't necessarily happen since now they also want these games to sell as much as possible. So,
Yeah,
but the Game Pass is a really good alternative for them, I think, especially when you say that with Call of Duty, for instance. Like if they can really monopolize people, everyday people, just okay, I have the Game Pass the same way, I have Netflix, I have the Game Pass,
yeah.
uh, and make them skip that $50, $60, $70. I think that's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's really anything could happen, really. We could see a complete lockout of all Call of Duty from PlayStation from now on, and it being accessible on the Game Pass. And yeah, I mean, if Microsoft buys Activision Blizzard, where are they gonna stop? I mean,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I mean yeah.
yeah, something that I'm not sure about is they want to keep Bobby Green as a CEO,
Mm,
which, uh, as some of you might know, he's been under a lot of controversy with sexual harassment allegations, workplace environment, things like that. And
oh,
deciding to keep him is a weird decision. I hope that it's some kind of shenanigans to get the deal to close and then send him out, but I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, I wonder how long this has been in the works. Probably way longer than obviously than we've heard
Uh,
it for.
I
But
think it's been in the works
yeah.
longer than 30 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope. I hope. But yeah, I mean, maybe even there's some sort of from their end, that like, yeah, Bobby has to stay or else, But I do
Yeah.
think it's an interesting time though, and I wonder how that affected it because Activision Blizzard, albeit the powerhouse that it is, it's not
I would
really
say that
in the
it
best
used to
place.
be almost.
Yeah, yeah, but exactly, exactly. But it's still like it's a huge company. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't disregard
Yeah. Yeah.
owning King as well, which is Candy Crush. Like it's huge, but right now it's kind of in a slump. So I wonder if that kind of was a bit of something that led to this.
Yeah,
If they
I
wanted
think
to sell,
the Microsoft like struck when they were down low.
yeah,
Like the stocks of Activision have been really low this year. They've been having a really bad year. I think
yeah,
that's why they struck. Um, yeah, now the deal isn't closed yet. It's supposed to close in the Microsoft 2023 fiscal year and no later than June that year.
okay, yeah,
So we'll
yeah,
see. It's not set in stones yet. We still have one more year to go until we can be sure that it's done. But both parties have agreed to this, so we should probably see this coming through.
yeah. Really interesting to see how this develops. I also think it's worth mentioning that in their official statement, uh, they were saying that this is also going to be a huge part in playing or a huge role in preparing for the metaverse or that type of stuff, which is interesting that Microsoft also take that route. Obviously, we have Meta or Facebook very openly taking that ambitious road. I wonder, yeah, I've always had these thoughts about the metaverse because it's at the end of the day, it's a game. Like to me,
Mm,
you can call it whatever you want, but it's a video game. uh, and having all this as well, like knowledge that we'll get from this, like all these studios, all these programmers, and all these minds behind it. I think that they can take a lot from the gaming world, something that I'm not sure how much Facebook or Meta owns in terms of gaming. But I would low key bet a little bit more on Microsoft now when it comes to the metaverse, more than Facebook,
mm,
to be honest.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not really engaged in the metaverse. I don't really, it doesn't really interest me that much, so I wouldn't be able to comment on
not yet.
that. Yeah. I'm gonna buy some land in the metaverse soon.
Yeah, we're thinking maybe our first piece of owned property perhaps will
Yeah.
be in the metaverse rather than. I actually heard about a guy who's he's a landlord, a metaverse landlord, and there are
Now
people.
that's a job of the future.
That's pretty sick. So he was like, "Yeah, I'm raking in $400 a month from these people, like individually."
I
And
don't think you can call those people that.
yeah, maybe, yeah, because there was he was telling this story about this one guy who was just like, yeah, I'm really, really sorry. Like, I'm about to get evicted. I think it was something like that. IRL. So I won't be able to pay this month, but I swear I'll pay you like next month. Like, and then he had to evict them from the metaverse land. Like, yeah, it's interesting to see where this whole thing goes. But
But yeah,
yeah, if we look at
let's
the games though,
yeah.
quickly, what
Hmm?
that they have now on their roster,
Yeah.
what we got here,
Yeah, I mean Microsoft, they own or like used to own directly like I think games like
Gears
We
of
Happy
War.
Few, Minecraft, Hellblade, Devil May Cry. You have Forza, Sea of Thieves, Age of Empires, and many more games. With
Yeah,
the Bethesda acquisition, we get games like Dishonored, the Elder Scrolls series, Fallout series, Doom, Wolfenstein, things like that. And now, whew,
yep, bangers.
yeah,
Real bangers. Call of Duty, World of Warcraft. I mean, Blizzard obviously have their legendary suite of timeless games. Really, obviously Overwatch, I guess, is the most recent one. Or have they done? Did they do a MOBA at one point?
Yeah, they have Heroes of the Storm, I think.
Right.
It's pretty terrible in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it recently.
I
Yeah.
think that shows a point though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, so let's not maybe drag on for too long. That's crazy news in the gaming world. So yeah,
doesn't get crazier.